Every single school district in America right now is grappling with the same really big question. It's the kind of thing that probably keeps superintendents, curriculum directors, and, well, you up at night. And that question is this: how on earth do we prepare our students for a future that's being completely reshaped by artificial intelligence? I mean, a future that's changing faster than any of our systems can possibly keep up with. The hard truth, the one we're all facing, is that the old ways of measuring success, they're just not cutting it anymore. Because, let's face it, college and career readiness isn't about what students can memorize anymore. It's not about what they know. With AI literally in every pocket, the game has changed. What matters now, what really matters, is how they think. And look, this isn't just a gut feeling or some educational trend. The data is absolutely crystal clear. The World Economic Forum, just last year, pinpointed critical thinking and problem solving as the #1 and #2 skills for the future workforce. We're hearing it directly from employers. They're practically shouting it. They need adaptable, independent thinkers who can navigate this new, complex, AI-powered world. Okay, so how do we actually build these critical skills? Well, the answer, the real solution, is something called metacognition. It's a fancy word, but it just means thinking about your own thinking. And I love this definition here. It's the operating system for learning. Think about that. Just like an OS runs a computer, metacognition runs our brain's ability to learn. It's the foundational skill that makes everything else, math, science, history, stick. And that right there, that is exactly what our program is built to do. We do this through a really simple but incredibly powerful learning cycle that just works. First, we give students a solid framework for thinking. Then, and this is key, they immediately get to apply it in a hands-on guided AI challenge. After that, they take a step back and reflect on how they thought through the problem. And finally, they jump into discussions with their peers. It's this constant loop. Learn, apply, reflect, discuss. That's how the skill gets wired in. And this chart, wow, this really shows the night and day difference. You know the old model, right? Lecture, homework, test. It's so passive. We all know that feeling of cramming for a test and then, poof, it's gone a week later. That's the forgetting curve, and it is steep. But our model? It's completely active. It builds a skill for life because students aren't just listening to a lecture about critical thinking. They are in the driver's seat actually doing it. But I get it. As leaders, you can't just go on a good story. You need to see the impact. You need hard data. You need to know for sure that this isn't just another fun workshop, but that it delivers real, measurable growth that lines up directly with your district's biggest goals. And that's the beauty of this. This isn't one more thing to pile onto your teacher's plates. Think of this as a direct accelerator for the portrait of a graduate framework you already have. You want critical thinking? That is our absolute core focus. Problem solving, it's baked into every single challenge. Collaboration, communication, self-direction, we give you a clear, measurable way to supercharge every single one of those competencies. And the research shows this approach flat out works. A huge meta-analysis in the Educational Research Review found that when students do this kind of structured reflection, we see massive gains, a 30 to 40% greater improvement in things like reading comprehension and self-regulation. This isn't just a good idea, this is proven neuroscience in action. And we've seen this in our own pilot studies. We put it to the test. We compared students who went through traditional instruction with our AutoNateAI group. We gave them both a new problem and asked them to apply the skill. The results, honestly, they were staggering. The traditional group, a 34% success rate. The AutoNateAI group, 89%. That right there, that's the massive difference between just knowing about a concept and actually knowing how to use it. Okay, so right about now, you're probably thinking, this sounds incredible, but it also sounds complicated and expensive. We totally get that, which is why we designed our entire model to break down those barriers. It's a simple, scalable, and sustainable approach we call the sponsorship pathway. And what's so important to understand is that sponsorship isn't just for a single 2-hour workshop. That's just the beginning. It's really a year-long ecosystem for growth. It kicks off with that live interactive session, but then every student gets a full year of access to our AI reflection portal, plus ongoing tools. And for you and your team, you get all the progress tracking and the data-driven reports you need to see the impact unfold. We also wanted to make this as accessible as possible. So we've built in a ton of flexibility for funding. It can be a direct district payment, sure, but we can also help you leverage grant funding, think Title I or Title IV, or even help you engage with community sponsors, local businesses, people who want to invest in their future workforce. The point is, there's always a pathway to make this happen for your students. And maybe the best part of all, we've made this completely plug and play. I want to be really clear about this. This does not add to your teachers' already overflowing plates. We handle everything, the facilitation, the monitoring, the reporting. Your job is simply to receive the clear, data-backed proof of impact. So what this really is, it's more than just bringing in another program. This is a chance to lead, to be a true model for innovation. It's an opportunity to spearhead the kind of transformation that, frankly, every district in the country knows is coming. When you sponsor your students, you get these very clear strategic wins. You're directly fulfilling your college and career readiness goals with the exact skills employers are begging for. You're giving every student, not just the ones in honors or AP, equitable access to higher order thinking. You get to position your district as a statewide model for AI literacy. And it all integrates perfectly with your existing social-emotional learning goals. It's a win-win-win. So, at the end of the day, the question isn't if we should be preparing our students to thrive in the age of AI. That's a given. The real question we all have to ask ourselves is, how fast can we get them the tools they don't just need to survive it, but to lead it?